Another important concept in algebra is what we call evaluating algebraic expressions. When you think about evaluating algebraic expressions, just think about you plug in numbers, and then after you do that, you simplify. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples, and hopefully you'll understand what we're talking about here. So here we are with example 1. They want us to evaluate the expression a minus b when the value of a is equal to 5 and the value of b is equal to negative 4. So let's write the expression down again, a minus b. We know the value of a is 5. Now when I plug my numbers in, a lot of times putting parentheses around it will help me. So when I plug in the negative 4 for the b, once again with parentheses like this, sometimes it's not real important, but a lot of times it is, so it just doesn't hurt to show it. Well, this example creates what we call a double sign here. The minus becomes a plus. In this example, the parentheses weren't a big deal here for the 5, so we'll just write 5 without the parentheses, and again a minus becomes a plus, and then we can remove the parentheses around the 4, or the minus 4. Alright, so 5 plus 4 is 9. So once again, the steps are to plug in the values given in the problem or substitute the values in for the respective variables and then simplify according to the order of operations. So example number 2. This time we want to evaluate negative, or not negative, it's just 3x squared plus 5y. This time we're given the value of x is negative 2 and the value of y is negative 9. Again, let's just write down the expression again. Sometimes I'll spread them out. It just kind of helps me stay organized here. And this time notice that the parentheses are really a big deal. The value of x is negative 2 and the value of y is negative 9. Now the order of operations say we have to take care of the exponent first. Remember, when a negative number is inside parentheses, it will follow the odd-even rule. So negative 2 in parentheses squared, because the squared is an even number, that gives us a positive 4. And then we have plus 5 times negative 9 is negative 45. So the order of operations say we are going to multiply next 3 times 4, which is 12. We have a double sign in a plus a negative, so we're going to change that to a minus 45. Then 12 minus 45, we're taking away more than what we have, so it's going to be a negative 33. Next, example number 3. This time the expression that we're looking at is quite lengthy. There's a lot of stuff up here. So this is the expression, and they give us the value of c being 2, d is negative 2. Let's write down the expression, 4 minus 3. Again, I'm going to spread stuff out a little bit. One thing we need to be careful of here is in the middle part of the expression we have absolute value symbols, and then on the end we actually have parentheses. So you have to understand the functionality and how to work with absolute values. So let's go ahead and do the substitution. We're going to replace the c with 2, replace the d with negative 2. We have 4d, so again replace the d with negative 2 and replace the c with positive 2. Now the order of operations, we can go ahead and work inside these two, inside the groupings. We can think of absolute values being a grouping and the second part. So bring everything else down. We have 4 minus 3. Inside the absolute value we have 2 minus 4. We take care of the exponent first, so negative 2 squared again is positive 4, absolute value. Inside the parentheses we can do the multiplication of both products here. We have 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, minus 2 times 2 is 4. Again, simplify within each type of grouping. We have 2 minus 4 times 4 is 16, minus, in the parentheses we have negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. We can still simplify within the absolute value. We have 2 minus 16 is negative 14. And then here we have a double sign with a minus a negative here, so we're going to change that minus negative 12 to a plus 12. So we simplified it fairly far here. Now we just kind of step outside of the groupings. There are no more groupings really that we have. Besides the absolute value, we have to be careful with that. What is the absolute value? So we're looking at the absolute value of negative 14. What is that? Well, that's 14. So we take 3 times 14, then we have the plus 12 on the end. So moving down a little bit, what's next? We subtract, multiply, or add. Well, the answer is we multiply. 3 times 14 is 42, then plus 12. Next, we just subtract. First, going from left to right, we take 4 minus 42, that's negative 38. Plus 12, negative 38 plus 12 is negative 26. So you can see pretty clearly that this example, this expression took a little bit more work and effort, but again, it's just a matter of being careful. Spread stuff out so it's a little bit more easier to visually see. Sometimes when people write tight or close together, they tend to lose their signs somehow. So be careful, spread it out a little bit so you can see it and don't make any silly mistakes. All right, in the last example that we have here, example number 4, we have 4m minus 7n all over 8n minus 5m. Well, to do the substitution, we have 4, finding the value of m. The value of m is negative 10. And then minus 7 times the value of n. Well, the value of n is negative 4. On the bottom, we have 8 times n. Again, the value of n is negative 4. Minus 5 times m, and the m value is negative 10. Now what we're going to do is simplify the numerator, and then we're going to simplify the denominator. So in the numerator, we have 4 times negative 10, that's negative 40. And then we have minus 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. And the denominator, 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. Then we have minus 5 times negative 10 is negative 50. Simplifying the top, we have negative 40. We have a double sign here, that minus and negative. So that's going to become a plus 28. On the bottom, same thing happens. We have a double sign that we want to take care of, a minus minus. They match, it's a plus. So that leaves us with negative 40 plus 28 is negative 12. On the bottom, negative 32 plus 50. That leaves us with a positive 18. Now we can simplify this. 6 goes into both of these numbers. 6 goes into negative 12. That's going to be negative 2 over positive 3. That's the same answer as negative 2/3. So I hope this video helps you understand how to evaluate algebraic expressions. Again, it's just a matter of plugging in numbers and simplifying the expression according to the order of operations.